mastermind behind the mic. Give you what you like, never think about it twice. Coming with the real facts, and that's for real. Along with special guests, you know the deal. Label as the podcast, I stand on it. I'm all about my grind, cause my grind I be on it. That's what it's all about. When you're trying to be successful, you know what I'm saying? The solo show, yeah. Yeah. Back in the building, y'all. That's right. Episode 17, the solo show, with yours truly, the mastermind behind the mic, the podcast back at it again. Hope everybody's been having a great week. I'm coming to you from the KP Lab. That's right. Got that new name from my boy, my homie, Dr. Driscoll Duvall. Came up with that idea of a name, and it kind of grew on me a little bit. The KP Lab, the Keep Pushing Lab, y'all. This is why I keep pushing in the lab. So that's a good one. Shout out to my boy, too, also, man. But as I was saying, I hope everybody's having a great week. We are upon the 4th of July weekend, of course, and coming up on my 15-year wedding anniversary. That's right, July 3rd, man. Round of applause for that shit. Yeah. Round of applause for that, man. 15 in the game. Damn, 15 years, man, went by quick. And what can I say, man? Just been blessed to make it this far. You know, relationships and marriages are what you make of them. You have to compromise on a lot of shit. You have to, fight through when it's good times and when it's bad times. You know, that's the part of it. Shit's not going to be perfect every day. That's just part of it. If you don't have any issues going on within your relationship, that's when something's wrong. If you don't. Because anybody that's married, they have issues, ups and downs. That's the part of it. And you work through that shit. But yeah, I'm coming up on 15 years. July 3rd. All right. Top stories, of course. Ketanji Brown Jackson, of course, was sworn in on Thursday. She's the 116th Supreme Court Justice and the first black woman to serve on the highest court. Man, that's dope. You know, I'm glad to see her make it to that point and prevail. And of course, definitely want to listen in on when she was sworn in, just to get a little bit of it. So we're going to listen in on it just a little bit. So y'all check this out.
Are you prepared to take the oath?
I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, and now I'll turn things over to Justice Breyer.
Oh, yeah, man. We definitely had to listen in on that. That was dope, man. To see her being sworn in, of course. She replaces Justice Stephen Breyer, who is 83 years old. Jackson also clerked after she graduated from Harvard Law School in 96. Man, this was dope, man, for her being sworn in. Definitely got to give her a round of applause on that shit, dude. Some of the things she had to go through, getting grilled and all that shit. Man, that was awesome. Like to see that shit, man. All right. Last Friday, June 24th, Roe versus Wade. Yeah, that's right. Overturned in a landmark decision back on the 24th of June of this year. So many mixed emotions and feelings about that. Of course, I'm not a fan of that shit. Just me personally, I'm not a fan of it because my thing is how can you take a woman's right to abort? You know, you have to look at things. I look at it as if that's just like if I had a daughter and she gets raped, okay? Not only do she have to go through being traumatized from being raped, but if she comes up pregnant, she's got to carry this baby and have a child by somebody that raped her. That's what I'm looking at. So some states are still doing abortions. You're going to have people going across lines, trying to, get that taken care of. And they're getting where they're trying to stop it. So you're going to have all kinds of shit that goes on. And, of course, guys out here, you out here having sex, man, you better really wrap up because if you don't want no kid, the chances are now it's going to happen. You're going to end up having a child. If you fucking off, you fucking around out here, unprotected, got somebody at home, there's a chance that they can get pregnant, and there it is. Your shit is all fucked up. So you got to be careful out here, which you need to be careful anyway. But the thing with that is, I just don't like the fact that they are taking a woman's rights away from her to decide whether or not she want to have a baby. I'm talking about this shit was 50 years now, and you overturned it. So you got senators and, of course, governors and all that shit. They are so happy about it. There's a lot of people, it's so divided with this. People are happy and a lot of people are not happy. And I'm one of the ones, I don't think it's not fair. It's not fair for you to make a woman's decision for her when it comes to that. I don't like the shit one bit. My opinion, I stand on that shit. It's not right. But you got a lot of people saying, well, stop killing the babies and all that. And we having issues now with milk shortages and shit. You know what I'm saying? We're having issues with milk shortages, and you want people to go ahead and have babies, or you going to make sure milk is on the fucking shelf for these children that's being brought into the world? That's what I'm talking about, shit like that. But it's not right for you to make a decision for a woman to whether or not she want to have a child. So my thing is, when it hits home for like some of these people that's high up in government and all, they sum up a lot of them for it and all this shit about having babies and all that. Okay, what if it was your daughter that gets raped? I want to see your reaction. How you going to react to that shit? So, yeah, it's mixed emotions, it's mixed feelings about that. I don't like it. A lot of other people don't like it. Have to. It's divided. It's just divided with that shit. And I don't like that shit for one bit. All right, we had 53 people. This and I looked at this a couple of days ago about the 53 people that were found that were dead and left abandoned in a semi truck with an 18-wheeler tractor trailer abandoned on a back road in San Antonio. And it was all said that it was dealing with a alleged human smuggling ring. People trying to get across the border, trying to come into the United States, and a lot of these people, man, you know, they're from Mexico. I think a couple of them was Guatemalan. These people trying to come over and look for a better life. And it's sad that they had to die like they did, because the intense heat, that tractor trailer, as I was reading, it said that it didn't have air. The air conditioning, I think the air conditioning was bad. It went out in that trailer. And these people died. They was suffering from heat stroke and all. These people died. At one point, I think it was like 51, and then it moved up to 53 people. Sad situation. You hate to hear that. You hate to see that, because, you know, these people were trying to come across the border and look for a better way of life. And you hate to see that shit. Very sad situation. Very sad. Okay, we're going to move into entertainment. Yeah, entertainment. We're going to move into it. R.Kelly. That's right. R.Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison for his sex trafficking and for sex trafficking charges. He was sentenced to 30 years. Rated R has been locked up. I think I've been calling him Rated R for the longest, man. But R. Kelly was locked up, I think, back in 2019 on charges. And now he's actually suing the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn over conditions of him being suicidal. And actually, those are said to be false by R. Kelly. And he's actually filing a lawsuit against them about that. He claimed that he's punitively been placed on a suicide watch at the MDC Brooklyn, despite having no thoughts of suicide or self-harm. R. Kelly in the suit claims that he was placed under the watch after receiving his sentence on June 29th. The suit claims that Kelly is being held on a suicide watch to punish him for his celebrity status, and that he's made to wear a paper-like smock and denied utensils to eat. It further claims that the circumstances of Kelly's confinement are causing him irreparable mental harm. The suit also likens Kelly's confinement to that of convicted sex offender Ghislaine Maxwell. I guess I said that shit, pronounced it right, but you know, she's the one was in the held down in the pornographic shit with Jeffrey Epstein. You know, she was all tied into that. She was actually sentenced a couple days ago also for that. So yeah, R. Kelly, man, I you know, everybody gets his celebrity and this shit, what he's got going on with messing with young girls and all, man. You know, they get it. It's two sides of it. You know, they looking at the celebrity status of R. Kelly and his the way that he's performed over the years and his talents, man. They get that shit mixed up. And my thing is, I never took away his talents. Never took R. Kelly's talents away. Hell, I even still listen to his music now. I still listen to some of his music. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that shit. But the thing of it is, when you doing the things that you've been doing for almost 30 years, because it was said that he'd been doing this shit for right at 30 years, if not 30 years, and then for him to get a 30-year prison sentence. Man, you can't keep doing that shit, man. You know, talent, I mean, yeah, you talent as a motherfucker, man, but dude, you can't keep doing this shit. You know, so many stories about R. Kelly, about how he went about doing the young ladies and all, but then too, you know, you have to look at some of these parents too. because a lot of them knew what the fuck he was doing, and that pay stopped coming in. I think the pay stopped coming in, and then everything started falling to the left, you know. Everything was fucked up behind it once the money stopped. And this man was going through money trying to keep shit paid out of court, you know. I mean, just all these settlements and shit he was trying to do, take care of to keep himself on level ground. But, bro, you need some help, man. I hate that it turned out for you that way, but, man, I can't mix the talent and the music up with the shit that you've done to women and kids, man. You can't get away with that shit. So he still got some charges, I think, coming up in Illinois. And he's got 30 years for this. So I can't even imagine what the hell, what the charge and the year sentence may be with the shit in Illinois. My thing is, I think he's never going to touch the ground again. He's never going to be out. And then I read that some of, you know, this man 30 years now. And they was talking about when he get out, all the stipulations he had to deal with and face when he got out. I'm like, man, this man gonna be so fucking old if he don't die in jail. But, you know, and you hope that don't happen, but this guy, man, is gonna be so fucking old, shit, it's really not gonna even matter. So, he's messed up, man. He's messed up. I hate it for those young ladies. I'm not gonna lie. I hate that shit for them. They had to go through some of the stories that they told about what they had to go through and all, man. You know, you hate to hear that shit. You've seen that surviving R.Kelly and shit. Some of these stories though that these young ladies was describing about R.Kelly, man, it was ridiculous, man. This guy has been through a lot. He's had problems all his life. And when the shit went down the first time, that should have been a lesson learned. You know, he should have been, but he didn't have nobody. And then again, he might have had people trying to tell him, hey, Robert, you need to, blah this and blah that. And, when you can't tell nobody anything, man, this motherfucker ain't going to listen. Plus, if you're on the payroll, you definitely ain't going to be trying to, talk shit against him about doing shit because you trying to get paid. You trying to, get your end. So, but it's fucked up overall. But when he got off that shit the first time, he should have learned a lesson. He should have learned, man. And he kept on. He kept on. Karma went on and got him. Now I look at some of these, I hadn't seen anything recent of R.Kelly. I think they're keeping that shit out of the spotlight. They have these little court drawings and all this shit. But I hadn't seen a photo of R.Kelly since the jumpsuit. That's been shit way back. And he was looking rough then. So, yeah, we could talk R.Kelly all fucking day long, all night. But this guy, man, he's gonna pay the price for that shit. He's gonna pay it. Suge gonna be at home before R.Kelly do. I believe Suge Knight gonna be home before R.Kelly. So much for Rated R. But that's a hell of a situation that's been going on for quite some time. All right, this week, of course, DJ Jazzy Jeff had some comments about Will Smith since the the slap incident took place back in March. My thing is never gonna be forgotten. We're past that shit. I don't know why they still want to talk about it. But he was actually, Jazzy Jeff was actually saying that him and Will Smith were, they are super tight. They had the group thing together back in the day, and Jazzy Jeff knows all Will Smith pretty well. And I feel like Will Smith might have slapped the hell out of him because the simple fact is, he was saying that Will would have squared up against Mike Tyson because Will is that type person that is not afraid and all that. Even though he knew Mike Tyson would beat the hell out of him, but Will is the type person that he's gonna square up. He's supposed to square up, and I'm not knocking no man for holding their ground because that's what you're supposed to do. You be less than a man if you don't hold up and hold your ground and be a protector. Because especially if you got a family, because you the man of the house, you're gonna be a protector. You're not gonna let nothing go down. You're gonna have to come through me to get in this motherfucker. But the thing is with that slap shit, okay, everybody had their opinion. I'm gonna leave that shit alone because I've been done with the slap shit. But that was Chris Rock, okay, and I've heard people say, well, if it was a gangster up that motherfucker, he wouldn't have went up there. I believe that too. My opinion. Now he might have would have walked up there. Who knows? I don't know. Well, but that was Chris Rock. Chris Rock wasn't known for that type shit, to be a violent type, or he's a comedian. He likes to have fun. But my thing of it is, it was a situation where the man was caught off guard. He wasn't expecting that shit to happen. But if that had been Mike Tyson up on that fucking stage, I don't think Will Smith would have walked up there and did that shit. Me personally, I don't think so. I don't care about, look, I hold my ground too. All men should hold their ground. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm not fixing to walk up against Mike Tyson. I'm not fixing to do that shit for nobody. This man's hands are legal weapons. I promise you, they would have had to shut the Oscars completely down if Will Smith had walked up there and there'd have been Mike Tyson on that stage. That shit would have been over. It would have been over with. It wouldn't have been talking about suspending Will and all this shit. They'd have been more concerned about trying to get Will woke up, trying to see where he know where the fuck he's at, or if he would have woke up. Because if Mike Tyson had hit Will Smith, we all know that shit would have been over with. It'd have shut the Oscars down completely. But I see what Jazzy Jeff saying that, Will is the type of person that he's not afraid. He was talking about this situation in Jamaica or somewhere where he jumped off a cliff into the water and didn't know how to swim and all that shit. Okay, I get that. I'd rather did that than go up against Mike Tyson. Just point blank. I would have never thought about I wouldn't even think about saying some shit like that. But he's being who he is. So not me. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't even said that shit. And of course, Will Smith wouldn't have had a chance. It had been Mike Tyson. It wouldn't have been, the Oscars would have been completely shut down. Point blank. Point blank. That shit was crazy when I heard that. I was looking at that shit, man. I was reading. I'm like, oh no, man, he can't be. He can't be. All right. About to get ready to soon take a break here in a moment. So we're gonna talk about the upcoming 4th of July and all, and what are your plans for the upcoming 4th of July? What are you cooking? What's on the menu and all that good shit, man? You know what I'm saying? All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back with more of the Jock Johnson podcast, the solo show, right after this time out.
Check out our dad,
the mastermind behind the mic,
the podcast on each week for a new episode
of the solo show, available on Spreaker and all your favorite platforms.
It's so dope.
Back with more of the Jock Johnson podcast solo show. All right, y'all, we are back with more of the solo show. This week, Eric Holder, the man that was accused of murdering Nipsey Hussle, was attacked by 2 inmates. He was transported back to the facility after he left the court around 4 p.m. on Monday. His public defender said that that Holder was attacked, was cut in the back of the head with a razor, and of course, his face was swollen. I actually saw the photos of that. This guy, man, looks like Elephant Man. They put it on him. He took the fade. So, yeah, he was attacked. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him at all. But, he's the convicted killer of Nipsey Hussle. Happened back in 2019. So this man, he's still on trial. About to learn his fate real soon. So, he took the fade this week, y'all. All right. Barbecue, 4th of July. Yeah, 4th of July is coming up. I know everybody's going to be doing their thing on the grills and all that. Of course, I'm looking forward to some barbecue. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay away from the fucking pig, though. That shit there is addictive, man. It's about worse than me fucking with the vape. Yeah, and I got the vape here, too. Actually, it's on the charger right now as we speak. But, yeah, I noticed that, especially when I'm eating some shit that I don't need to eat, especially bacon or some shit like that, I noticed that I start getting a little headache, and I had to cut back on that shit. And, of course, 4th of July coming up, all these ribs and all that shit. Definitely it's going to be tempting. It's hard to turn away from that shit, man. I don't care. It's hard to turn away from the ribs. Hard to turn away from that shit. But, yeah, everybody is going to be doing their thing. I'm looking forward to it. And, of course, my anniversary also. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is, y'all. It's the vape. It's the vape in the KP lab. That's right, in the KP lab, the Keep Pushing lab. The vape. Yeah, you hear that shit, don't you? All right, man. I love to have fun. And, of course, I love to do what I do. You also hear that at the end of my shows. Do what you love what you do. Something I came up with. And the thing with that is, why not love what you do? If you're doing it and you enjoy it, love that shit, man. Love what you do. Because I love what I do. I love talking to people. If I can be in any assistance to give anybody some advice, to try to help angle them in the right direction, that's what I'm going to do. I talk about podcasting so much. I love doing this shit. And that's why I came up with that. Do what you love and love what you do. Real simple, man. If you love doing it, do it. Whatever it is, do it. So, I know there's a lot of you out there that got things that you do. My sons love football, of course. And if you got kids, if they're active in sports, very active, they're going to love what they're doing. They're not going to be out there if they don't want to do that shit. Trust me. They're not going to do it. And I tell mine all the time, man, if they came to me, and I love football. Don't get me wrong. Football was always a sport in my family. Grew up, my dad played football. Had other family members, cousins, and relatives and all that played football. Football was something that I loved to do. I loved to play football. I love that shit, man. Played football in the neighborhood. Grew up playing that shit. Neighborhood thing we did every weekend. But the thing with it, it's just like my sons playing football. And if one of them come up to me today and tell me that they didn't want to play anymore, I would be shocked. But, I wouldn't make them play. That's something I wouldn't do. My youngest one, he loved playing football so much he played ever since he was able to play. I think he started out when he was about 6, 7 years old playing. And, man, he loves it. He hadn't stopped. My next to oldest, he played very promising at one point. Ended up getting a concussion. Changed his whole point of view about football. It changed him. And he was at one point where when he was growing up, he was younger, started playing organized football in school. He would always be in his room watching recap football games, learning the game. He wouldn't be outside like everybody else playing. He would do it from time to time, but for the most of it, he was in his room watching recap football games because I would be looking for him. Sometime I look around, I'm like, damn, why he's not outside? So I goes by his bedroom door, and he's in there watching fucking recap football games. He's learning the game. That's how determined he was to play football. Ended up getting a concussion, and it changed him. It changed him. It really did. And he hadn't even thought about, when he was in school, he'd never thought about going back to play. He had maybe thought about it once, but no. That concussion changed him. So he was such a promising young man playing football. I'm not going to lie. Just, still got a video of him when he made an interception. Because he played defensive back. And he was so promising. But once that concussion happened, it changed the game for him. My middle son, he's playing football. He actually shocked me because he's playing football. He shocked me because I thought he was going to be more of a basketball player. Because I ended up buying him a basketball goal. Man, he was out there, and the neighbors would be like, man, that boy there is going somewhere with that basketball. He's out there dunking, and he's steadily getting the height on him. He's getting taller and shit. I'm like, yeah, I really, really thought he was going to be on the basketball court, but he surprised me. He surprised his mom also being a football player. So he's playing football now. He's a senior in high school, actually playing wide receiver. And, of course, I'm looking forward to him getting some playing time this season. He can catch. Definitely can catch. Hell, he got my hand, so he can catch. And my youngest one, he's doing this thing with football. He's been, like I was saying earlier, he's definitely been on it since he was like able to play what they call pee-wee football, So I've been with him ever since on that. He's an 8th grader now. He's fixing to be a 9th grader, going into the 9th grade this upcoming school year. And I tell these youngest two that, you got to really get after it, man, if you want to go somewhere with it. And, of course, you just don't want to put all your energy in the sports because, just in case something doesn't fall your way with football. What if something happens, and we hope nothing don't happen, but what if something happens where you get hurt or something, you can't play? What are you going to do then? I ask these questions, what are your plans are? What if you go to college and play football and something happens? Just say, what if it happens? We hoping it don't happen, but what if it happens and you can't play anymore? You got to have something to fall back on. So my youngest one, he's into computers so much. He loves dealing with computers because, hell, he helps me. He shows me shit, on my computer. Because sometimes when I get ready to do something dealing with the podcast and doing some uploading and stuff, sometimes I might have a little issue or whatever, and I call on him. He comes in like fucking fingers moving all over the keyboard. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait. And then he do his thing, man. And actually, he at one point he was on this computer team back about, I think, the year before last. He was on the team, man, dealing with, they was in school with dealing with the computers and shit, man. He's very computer savvy. He knows what the hell he's doing on the computer. And of course, yeah, being a parent, you got to watch what they're doing on computers too, because there's so much stuff going on. And it's so easy to get caught up with the wrong kind of people online and all that shit. Because you got people just sitting around on the computers all day and scouring the internet and trying to stake prey on somebody, man, that's very vulnerable. So I have to make sure that they're on their game about, especially being online and all that. But a lot of times, the online thing goes with this gaming and all that shit, because they on the games all the time, up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on the weekends. I'm like, hey man, damn, when y'all gonna go to sleep? Okay, killing the light bill. But hey, I'm dealing with it. That's just how it is. So, but the sport thing, yeah, I always tell them, man, you know, you love doing it. If you don't love doing it, why do it if you don't love doing it? So the same thing back to me with the podcasting thing, man. Why do it if I don't love doing it? People look at, man, you make money doing that shit. Yeah, you make a little bit of money. You make a little few coins here and there. It's no major money unless you get sponsors and all that, man, and sell some merchandise and all that. Things I'm trying to get done now. You know, you don't make a whole lot of money, but the thing is with me, it's not all about the money. Because I know in the long run, that shit's going to come. If you don't have a passion of love for what you're doing, why do it? So that's why I came up with that. Do what you love. Love what you do. If you don't love it, don't do it. Don't do the shit if you're not passionate about it. And that's the thing with me, is being passionate about what I do. Being passionate. You know, everything else will fall in place. It will come when it's supposed to come. It will happen when it's supposed to happen. You know, you just can't be focused and bombed out on money, man. I gotta make the money. Yeah, you want to make the money. You want to make the fucking money. But sometimes the money is not meant to come at that time. The money is meant to come later. I would feel a lot better knowing that I gave it my all, doing it because I was in love with doing it, than to sit up and just be more focused on fucking money. I'm not going to do that. I love doing what I do. You'll see the t-shirts real soon. The Do What You Love What You Do t-shirts. They'll be available real soon. Working on that. Got a lot of other things in the works also. Can't wait. I don't want to tell no secrets right now, but I got a lot of other things in the works. And of course, the video for the podcast be on the YouTube channel. Of course, I will be doing some lives and all from time to time. I'm more of a in-house, just studio type guy, working in the studio and then just upload to the channel and all that. But I will be doing some live eventually on down the road. We'll be doing some advertisements whenever I do set up a live show. That's coming. This has been something in the works for quite some time about doing the video. And I understand that you have to change with the times, man. You have to change, you know, because it's to the point now where you have to put your voice with face. People want to see who you are. So I have the YouTube channel up, and of course I got the audio versions of the podcast. They are available. They're still available on all platforms as well. So you have the opportunity to check out the podcast on the on YouTube channel, and of course on your Spotify's and your iHeart Radios and all those platforms, man. It's still available out there. Of course, the group podcast is still available. Let me remind you of that too. If you want to get some laughs and have some fun listening to some funny ass shit, check out the group podcast. Also, the All Out Show. I think we did like 85 episodes of the All Out Show. So it's still available. So if you get the opportunity to check out the All Out Show, it's still available. Sometime I go back and listen to some of the older shows from the All Out Show because the shit was so fucking hilarious. It was funny. Actually, that show made me who I am, you know, with the group. That was a fun show. So if you hadn't checked out the episodes, man, check them out. They're still available on Spreaker, and of course they're on Spotify and all the other platforms. Check them out. Get you some laughs, because some of the shit was being said on it was so fucking outlandish. It's the vape, y'all. But check it out. Man, I definitely want to give some shout outs, man, to some people too. And of course, I watched a podcast actually today. My friend, my man, Uncle Dolomite from the Too Much Game podcast. If you hadn't checked it out, check him out. He's on IG at Too Much Game podcast. Guy is a hell of a motivational speaker, man. This guy can talk. He keeps it 100. I got to give him some props, man. Show him some love. This guy actually had an episode. He normally doesn't do, have interviews of people on the show. He normally just do his thing. You know what I'm saying? He talks about that a little bit on the episode 138 to be exact. And that episode is entitled "The Game of Life Insurance." He had a special guest on there, my man Nathan Brown. Of course, he's on IG. You can look him up at Mr. Brown _ life agent. He's an insurance agent, life insurance agent. This guy, I learned some shit. I'm not going to lie. I learned some shit. He actually follows me also on both of my pages, on the group page, and of course my solo show podcast page. This guy, I learned some shit today. So in order for you to understand and listen, learn learn what he's talking about, you got to check out the show. So y'all go over and support my guy, man. Uncle Dolomite. Too Much Game podcast is on YouTube, of course, and on IG. But check him out on the YouTube channel because that's where I checked it out at. Episode 138, entitled "The Game of Life Insurance" with Nathan Brown. Dope ass episode, man. Dope episode. This guy is a hell of a speaker, both of them. And I learned some shit today dealing with insurance and all, life insurance. And I talked about this shit a while back too, about insurance. People need to see about getting life insurance, man. If you can be out here fucking off and splurging, as they say, and balling out of control, walking around with pockets fat with money or diamonds and gold and shit on your fingers and all that shit, man, you can get some fucking insurance. Because it's sad when something happens and motherfuckers have to do GoFundMes and doing all kinds of shit trying to raise money to help put you away. And I know a lot of people, quite a few people, and I'm quite sure a lot of you do too, know that, it's been people here, it may be almost over a month before they can bury them until they get money to help put them away. And I don't want to put my family in that type situation. Definitely don't want to do that, man. If you can get some life insurance, something to help bury you, motherfuckers be so fucking stupid and stubborn. Oh, hell, I'm not going to know anyway. Like, that's fucked up. You looking at yourself. You're not looking at family. If you got kids and a wife at home, why in the fuck you going to put them in a fucked up position? Trying to get money to try to help put you away. So I advise anybody, man, get you some life insurance. And I know we hate to talk about that shit, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner or later. Your ass going to check out. You're not promised to be here. So check the episode out. Episode 138. Too Much Game podcast on the YouTube channel. Entitled "The Game of Life Insurance" with Nathan Brown. So y'all check that shit out. And of course, as I was saying earlier, y'all follow my man, Mr. Brown at _ life agent. That's his Instagram handle. So y'all follow him. Check him out. This man got some info for you. So if you need to see about the life insurance and the different routes you can go about, man, you got to listen to that shit. You got to check it out because I don't want to tell it. I want you to go check it out. Support the man, my man, Uncle Dolomite's channel, and go check it out. Definitely want to give a shout out to my friend, my real good friend, Sharonda Armstrong, the Gold Queen, of course, episode 16 of the solo show. I had her on. Dope episode. Man, the views are still going up on that one. Actually, it's done took over right now. So But definitely want to give her a shout out because they like family. Definitely want to give a shout out to my man Brandon Janu of the Brandon Janu Show. He actually started this shit thing with the family, of course. So I took it and ran with it, and the people I really fuck with, you know, and keep it 100 with, man, you know, I just built this thing with family. And not to knock nobody else out of no shit like that. And of course, I look at Uncle Dolomite as like family too, man, because this guy is real. You know what I'm saying? He keeps it 100. Definitely want to give a shout out to my man Hype of How to Hustle Podcast. Is Hype, not hype. I'm not geeked up. That's what he say. It's spelled H-Y-M-P-E. Hype, not hype. Definitely want to give my man a shout out. My nephew, I call him my nephew. Of course, I want to give a shout out to K Renee Show, along with Mr. Zebo Jones. I hadn't forgot about you, Zebo. Definitely want to get with you, man, and do some shit. Bring you on the podcast. We can chop it up. Looking forward to that real soon. Also, shout out to 216 The Blend, Cleveland, Ohio, Live 365 Radio, for having me on each week on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and again at 9 p.m. Eastern. Man, I appreciate the opportunity for my voice to be heard. Got a lot of big plans coming up. So definitely appreciate the opportunity. Really appreciate it. All right. For any guests that want to be a part of the Jock Johnson podcast, the solo show, or have any questions or comments, hit me up on IG at The Real Jock Johnson. Also, check out my YouTube channel. I got all kinds of shit on there now. No, I don't. No, but I do have all 16 episodes on there available now. So go on there on the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Check out the episodes. Of course, as I was saying a little bit earlier, go on Spreaker and Spotify and all the other platforms and check out the All Out Show. Those episodes are still available, 1 through 85. They are still available. So go check those episodes out if you want to get you a laugh. Hey, you're going to definitely be laughing. So check that out. Of course, you can hit me up on my email at jockjpodcast@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Love to get you on the show. All right, that's about going to wrap it up for yours truly, the mastermind behind the mic, the podcast Unc. Always remember, man, you remember this shit now. Always remember, do what you love what you do. I'm out, y'all.